there's no new dollars on the table. That's important for us all to think about and to sink in, because without having new dollars on the table, we are looking at, you know, issues now and in the future. And I think it's important that we strongly consider the possibility of asking the voters of Washtenaw County if they're willing to support some of the ongoing operation that we have. And I think we need to pose that question at least to the voters in the form of a millage of some kind, because we're facing cuts from the state government. We're facing cuts from the federal government. We are in a position where we cannot rely on funding from the governmental units that have traditionally supported us. They're taking away our funding opportunities. They're taking away personal property tax. They already, you know, we don't have as much revenue sharing. And it's horrible. It's a horrible situation to be in, but we're reliant solely on property taxes, which are, you know, controlled and constrained by various constitutional amendments and state legislation. So I think it's important that we identify this critical issue of declining resources and, quite frankly, a problem that was created, you know, over time. No one person is to blame for the unfunded liabilities, but it's a problem that we continue to not address, and it's important that we take an active role in addressing that. So with that consideration, and considering what Commissioner Peterson said about the impact that then has on the investments that we can make, we need to understand, and the community needs to understand, that we can't do it within the budgetary and the constraints that we have, and we need to ask the community, at least ask the community, if they're willing to help support the work that we're doing so that we can create, you know, a more fiscally stable county for many years to come, and fund those liabilities and keep our promises to our employees and continue to provide, you know, excellent public safety services and human services and services across the board. I think we at least owe them the opportunity to weigh in on this issue, because if we don't, then we're going to be making, you know, not budgetary decisions just in these next 4 years, but budgetary decisions in the following 4 years and the 4 years after that, because these liabilities, you know, are huge, and we need to address them. So I want to put that out there. I mentioned it. I know I mentioned it at the last working session. You know, taxes are obviously a sensitive issue, but I think we at least owe it to the people of Washtenaw County to whom we provide the services to pose the question of whether or not, you know, they want us to be able to continue providing the services that we have been able to provide in the past, or if they're content with county government shrinking to the point of maybe only being able to provide the mandated services, or maybe only being able to provide less than the mandated services, because given the current realities, we just can't continue the way that we are and expect, you know, and expect to have the money to continue to provide the breadth of services that we do in the community. So I know that's kind of a doom and gloom statement, but I think it's the reality that we're facing and the challenge of local government. So I think it's a question that we need to bring up, and a question that's been kicked around in the past. But boy, you know, it seems like, you know, if we're going to be serious about addressing these issues and about paying down, you know, our liability costs, it's something that needs to be entertained. And again, I was talking about the budget like a tool in our toolkit. I think a millage is a tool in the toolkit too that we shouldn't lose perspective on. So just wanted to throw that out.